It's another day, and like you know, I'm up, so I got things to do. Today's task would be trying to tackle those brown doors. We're gonna try and make them more modern instead of that brown look. So we're gonna take them outside, kind of get a color on them, trying to get them white, trying to make them look more up to date. And like I says, you know what my channel is trying to create equity on a budget. So we're not going to spend no money other than just buying the primer that it needs and the paint. We're not going to go out there and trying to buy new doors. No, what all it needs is just a good paint job, and that's what I do for a living. So join me today as I trying to get these as I get these doors white. All right. So sit back, relax, watch me work, and I'll take you through the process. It's only 3 doors, but it's a process that's not going to get done in a like a 10-minute video, maybe about less than 30 minutes, because I'll cut it and just show you all the process. So we can get out the old and get in with the new. They just look dated in that color. And like everything else that we have, all the rest of the doors are white. We want to make sure these are matching with the same white. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take them off, and I'm gonna take them in the backyard, and we're gonna get some bonding primer, and we're gonna sand them down, get some bonding primer on them, and hopefully get them to look as if they were brand new. But instead of brown, that'll be white. All right. This one is already down from the girl's bedroom, so it's already outside, or actually on the back patio. So we'll show it to you once I get back there. Okay, so I'm about ready to get started. Just before I get started, let me show you some of the product I'm using and what it will take just to get this project done. Hang on. Okay, so we got a couple of sawhorses back here in the backyard. We got a ladder underneath it, which we just lay the door on top of it. And we have some sandpaper. This is 100 grit sandpaper. We're just going to start off with this just to scuff it up, because right now it has some kind of polyacrylic on it, some polyurethane on it, and we want to just scuff that up so our primer here can stick to it. We got our orbital sander, which we're also going to use with another for these bigger areas where we can get more done with that. So got that, and here's the primer which we're going to be using. It's the Sherwin base fast drying primer, and of course this is oil-based primer, so you're going to need to have some thinner mineral spirit just to clean up after you're done, if you're using like a spray rig, or if you want to clean up out of whatever you decide to use to do it, like a brush or roller or whatever. I'm using a spray rig today because this is it do a better job, especially on the louvers part of it. You know, you don't want to be trying to get a brush in these little grooves. You just want to spray it and be done with it. All right, so this is what it's going to take for just to get started. There's the other doors over here. Once I get done with the sanding this one, I'll just move those over and get them all sanded. Then I'll go inside, bring my spray rig out, get set up, and then I'll show you the spraying process. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay, so I got it all dusted down. It's all sanded, and we're about ready to start priming. What I got here is my setup for the primer. before I start priming, I want to make sure that I run some thinner through my to my rig just to get it primed, because the last thing I used the rig in was the latex paint. So we want to get that out the system, and we want to introduce some thinner to get ready for the oil. I'm using my 395 lowboy Geto spray machine. Like I always use it for everything. It's my workhorse. All right, so we're good to go. You ever notice that anytime you get ready to do anything in spraying, the wind just pick up? I mean, there's a gust going on right now, probably about 15 to 20 miles per hour. I don't know where they come from. But we're gonna prime these doors. And what I normally do is I normally put my gallon bucket into a big 5-gallon bucket, because if you have the experience that I have, always spill over. All right, so we're just going to do a little test spot to make sure we got the pressure up as best as we need it to. All right, so now it's best to protect yourself from breathing this crap in. We're outside, it's plenty of ventilation, but you know, this thing get up in your system, man. You just don't want that, okay? We're trying to make sure we're being as careful as possible. So normally when you're using this kind of product, you use a respirator, but since I'm outside, it's pretty ventilated. But I'll just still use my dust mask to keep any extra residue from getting in my system. And my head mask is for just pretty much keeping it off my skin, because it's, like I said, this oil base is fast drying, and it also takes a long time to wash off when you get in the shower. So you want to, you know, pretty much just cover where you don't want it to go to, because the wind, it's pretty windy out here right now. So let's see what we got. Okay, so that's it. It's that's what the priming look like. Got a lot of visitors now. We got bee and trash blowing in on it because it's so windy. But we're just gonna let it dry. It's a fast drying primer. So in about 5 to 10 minutes it'll dry, so we can flip it over and do the other side, and get the other ones out here and do the same thing to it. All right, so stay tuned. All right, so it's about 15 minutes since I sprayed these, so taking a look back at them just to make sure they're dry. And you can see they're pretty much dry. About 15 minutes ago we sprayed them. Just went and had some water and came back out just to test them, and they're dry. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna turn them around. I'm gonna turn this one over, get the backside, and then another 15 minutes, put it up to, actually once I spray the backside, I'm just gonna stand it up and then just get on those other, so we can spray each side at a time, because it seems like it's gonna rain a little bit, so I wanna make sure I get these at least primed today. All right, so stay tuned. So we're gonna let this dry up pretty good, and then we do the other two. And again, the product we're using is a Sherwin-Williams Pro Block. What is it called? It's a Sherwin-Williams fast drying primer. And like I said, you don't have to use the Sherwin-Williams brand. You don't have to use that. You can go to Home Depot or any Lowe's, anywhere else, and have any kind of I'm pretty sure everybody heard of kilts. Same product, you can just use kilts to do this because it got some kind of varnish on it. And you want to make sure you have something that can stick to the varnish. Okay, so any kind of kilts or bonding primer is good to use for this product, for this process. And but I just chose to go with the fast drying because I'm strapped for time. You know, in Florida here, 2 o'clock it rains every day at 2 o'clock every day. So I'm trying to hurry up and get done here, at least with the priming. So that's why I need something to dry pretty fast, and I don't have to do this 2 days. I just want to get the primer done so I can, maybe tomorrow early I can start on the paint, or maybe this afternoon if the rain just come and go, and then it dry up pretty good. So like I said, stay tuned and watch the process. This is the first phase of these doors. They'll be primed today, and I'll show you the finished product once everything is done. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so as y'all can see, this is another day. Actually, in the morning, it's a Saturday morning, and they're all primed. We had a few showers yesterday, so we couldn't do nothing. I don't know if you can see, but it's still wet out here. But in the event, it's all primed. So what we're gonna do now is gonna put a little sander on it, trying to get it nice and smooth. And trying to get the first coat on it. We already sprayed the louvers part of it because this part don't really need any kind of sanding. We already took care of that, and it's much easier to spray the louver part. So we already sprayed the insert, the louver part. So what we're going to do now, we're just sanding the outskirt, and then we're going to take our weenie roller and go over it, because we don't really have a lot of paint left over from spraying that much. So we're just going to sand it down, dust it off, and get a weenie roller and put the first coat on the bigger section, like this part here. Everything is here already sprayed, but once we're done, we look back at it to make sure it's good, and we'll adjust as needed. All right, so and we're doing this just to get rid of any streaks that probably happened during spraying the primer, because like I said, the primer just don't go on as smooth as paint. so it tends to give you a lot of streaks here and there. So the sander will take care of all of that, and then once you go back over it with the paint, to be good. All right, so pretty much what we're gonna do now, we're gonna get our paint set up, and we're gonna start putting a coat of paint on the bigger section, and we're gonna do this for the others also. So it's pretty much the same thing, sand, get it all smoothed down, and then we'll put a coat of paint. I'll show you this paint part, but we don't have to show you the other three or the other two, because pretty much it's the same thing. It's just repetitive. All right, so give me a second. I'm gonna get set up in my paint, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my paint here. As you already know, it's the Bare Urethane Alkyd Enamel. Same thing I use on the doors, the jambs, the window seals. It's good for inside and outside, so that's what I'm using. Keep the same consistent white throughout the house. Okay, so I got a brush, and what I'm gonna do is trying to just get the just wherever it's hard for the roller to get to, just to get started. You don't really need it, but it doesn't hurt just to get those little hard to reach areas with the brush. Like in all the grooves, pretty much. Hope y'all having a good Saturday morning. Well, hope y'all had a good Saturday morning, because y'all probably not going to see this video on a Saturday morning. Unless y'all distinctly wait for Saturday morning to watch it. Now we start with the roller. You always start in the big section first to get off all the excess paint off the roller, because the first time you use it, it's a lot on it. So we just start off with the big section, and we kind of like get it all the way down to where there's nothing left on it. So one roller is pretty much seems like it would take care of the entire door. Because that's why I use the roller, because if you spray, you use up so much paint. And one roller just took care of the entire thing already. So all I needed was one roller dip. And pretty much all I was doing is just getting rid of the excess paint in it, but it took care of the entire the entire door. Look at that. Amazing. Right here where I'm painting, we had some of the sap from the tree fell on it when it was drying, and it just keep bleeding through, so I just go over it just with the roller. And I'm gonna probably have to do that a couple of times because I can still see it, but it's no big deal. And like I tell you, in Florida, it's either it just got to raining or it's fixing to rain. So we can't sit around here and just play with it. We gotta hurry up and get it to where it can sit for a minute and dry. So when the rain comes, we don't have to do a whole bunch of rushing. Because it's not like if it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. It's not a if, it's when. what time. And we know around about noon to 2 o'clock, guaranteed. Right now it's 12. So we need to get done and put it somewhere where it can dry without us have to worry about it getting wet. All right, so that's it for the first coat. We're gonna pick it up and take it inside to where we can sit it somewhere in a corner and just let it dry for a minute. All right, stay tuned. Sweetheart, where you at? Give me a hand with the story. That's fell out of my hand. I was trying to bring it in by myself. Push it, just push it. Now, if y'all know me, this door would be in pieces by now. But gotta keep the faith. Like my daughter Tania would say, patience, Daddy, patience. All right, so we just gotta move on. And another thing is, it fell, right? It's only one side of this door is painted. And you know what side it would fall on. It'd fall on the wet side. So, just teaching us how to be patient. All right, but there it is. I'm gonna just wait for it to dry, then I'll sand it down again and do the same process. All right. Folks, I tell you no lie. It ain't but 5 minutes since I was done. Here comes the rain. All right, so there where the door fell right there. Going in the door right here. Fell right there. And see? Raining. Florida. All right then. Like I said, it's gonna rain. Clockwork. Every day. 2 o'clock. Okay, so after dodging the rain and a few coats of paint, finally got to the end, finished the doors up, got them installed, and I guess I'm ready to show you what they look like. So let me flip the camera around, and let me also say, guys, thank you for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for actually supporting us, and we do appreciate it, even though we don't say it as often because it seems kind of cliche just to keep saying it over and over, but we do appreciate y'all watching, and we do appreciate y'all subscribing to our channel. Okay, so just keep liking the videos and we'll keep putting out more content. All right, thank you. All right, let me turn the camera around now so you can see the doors. Good. So now there are the doors. Like I said, after dodging rain and a couple of coats of paint, they're done. They're up, they're back in place, and they look a whole lot better. Leave me a comment down below if you think the same, or if you think I should keep them brown. But to me, I think they look a whole lot better, more modern, and just a better fit. All right, so that's the finished product. Let me show you the one in the girls' room. This is the boys' room, and here goes a window that I trimmed out. We haven't got the blinds in yet, but we still got the old blinds. We'll take it out once we got the new blinds in. But so here's the room. We got the ceiling. Remember I told you we was gonna change out the register. That's a brand new register. We got a brand new ceiling fan. I mean, it's getting there, just little by little. The walls ain't painted yet. It's still that constitutional or that institutional white, you know, when we bought the house. But we're gonna get a coat of paint on it and get it to looking better, just like we did with the hallway. Here goes the ceiling in the hallway. We got it all done. We got the walls done also. I gotta remove that piece of tape. This is just one coat on the wall. So once I put the second coat on it, then we'll pull the tape. But just a little preview of what it looked like. We changed out some of the baseboard, you know, just to put, instead of having that little tiny base, you can see this little tiny one right there. So we went with the bigger baseboard, and we're just working our way back towards the living room. Don't forget about the bathroom ceiling. It's also done. And it went by so fast I forgot to show the bathroom ceiling. And of course the bathroom has one coat of paint also. We're not gonna put the second coat on it until we actually get this vanity out of here. And we're gonna put new vanity. We're gonna get rid of that mirror and just update it with new vanity. But remember the ceiling, we got it done. New register. We got the same, actually this is the same exhaust fan, and I just sprayed it so it looked a whole lot better, because we couldn't find another one to match or to fit this hole. So I just took it down and sprayed it, and just put it back up. So pretty much that's it for the bathroom ceiling. So just don't forget about it because it was a lot of work inside here. All right, so there it is, bathroom ceiling. I'm gonna go to paint and the walls. Like I said, we get rid of the mirror and we get rid of this vanity and just get it all up to date. But we're working on it. Work in progress. But back to the doors. Um, so here's the door that's in the girl's bedroom. One of the thing broke off. I'm trying to see if I can figure out how to replace one of those. I think you can easily buy these little, strips and replace this piece right here. This one here broke off, and when it fell, this part broke off too. So we're gonna have to try and replace that. But look and tell me what you think. This looks so much better than it being brown. I mean, it's just a whole lot better. It goes so better or so good with the other doors just being white. And again, this room hasn't been painted yet. The ceiling is done also. Let me show you the ceiling, because that's part of the process that we did before. Was the ceiling, we changed out the register. We had a new ceiling fan. I mean, you remember we did all the window treatment, the blinds and everything. We cased these out. So these are really, really more up to date from what it was before. You can see the trim. You remember we did that on camera. We changed those out. So now this room is pretty much, from all we got to do now is paint the walls, and we're going to replace the carpet, of course, because this is the carpet we bought with the house. We bought the house with this carpet in it. So we're going to change this out, and once we do that, then we're going to change the baseboard to that bigger baseboard. Okay, so once again, we're in the boys' room, and there goes the doors. Matches the one on the room door itself. Matches this one. And there we go. So, if you think I did a good job, drop me a comment down below. I'd love to hear back from you. Any kind of feedback is always good. But guys, again, I say thank you for watching this channel, man. We do appreciate it. And trying to help us to get to 100 subscribers before this year is over with. We think we're about at 87 subscribers so far. So tell a friend, just pass the video on. So share the video with one of your friends, let somebody else tune in. And hopefully they can learn a few things, just by watching me work, and to see how just to enhance or create, equity on a budget. All right, so thank you so much for watching today. And like I said, we'll have another video coming out in another week, and just look forward to that. And thank you for joining us today and watching me work, and I appreciate it. And I want to say, love each other, and we always go further. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.